Welcome to the First Issue Club. We're a weekly comic book podcast, and the hosts, just like Sue Storm, love a good read. Today, this week, First Issue Club is going Hollywood.
We've made it, Ma.
Finally rejected my coal mining past. Sold out, made it to the Hollywood Hills.
How long is the Hollywood Walk of Fame? I've always seen people get their star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, right? Is it one strip or is it like block? No.
Oh,
This guy won't step foot in LA.
No, I don't go past. I don't go east of the Rockies or west of the Rockies.
Yeah, it's like Sunset Strip or whatever.
So it's just like quarter mile of
It's
real
like,
estate.
It's like it's gotta be longer than that.
Well, there's a lot of stars.
Yeah,
There's a lot of stars on that walk.
there is.
What I'm saying is, like, I didn't know if there was like
They do.
you know, there's
remove
like
them.
off Broadway.
They do remove them and replace them with other people.
Oh, then what the hell's the point? Where's the permanence?
Did you know they're paid for?
They're not given to you. Like Hollywood isn't
not
just like,
given
hey,
to
we
you.
get, so you can just like buy your own. You can buy your way into the Hollywood Walk of
There's a
Fame.
committee that has to accept you, but you basically buy your star, and if you're quasi-famous enough, you get it.
Okay.
A lot of people do it for publicity.
Sure. Except for John Carpenter, who recently got his. He earned it.
Which his production company was probably like, we want to promote this upcoming
John Carpenter
thing.
the
So
album.
So we're gonna shell out the like 10 grand or whatever it is.
10
to,
grand?
like,
Really? That's it?
I don't know what
Or
it is.
alternatively,
Let's look it up.
John Carpenter earned it. I will have no Carpenter slander on this podcast.
This isn't slander, but it is committee jargon. They're not just, you don't just get one.
Yeah.
They're not gonna
if you're
give
John
you one.
Carpenter, you do.
Okay, we've reached an impasse.
$85,000.
Okay. Oof. Even, whoa. That's a ton of money.
Is used to pay for the creation and installation as the star, as well as maintenance of the Walk of Fame.
That's too much money for something that's not permanent.
That's the cost of the entire ceremony, though. And I like.
Well, they got a carpet. They got to get a carpet.
I
out
like
there.
that they use it to maintain the sidewalk too. That's nice.
So it looks like they select like a swath of people and then say, who of this selection wants to pay us $85,000?
Sure.
And then if you do that, then
Kind of explains why Gary Busey hasn't had his yet.
saving the cheddar
Yeah,
for the old cheese museum.
He's
at
like,
home.
I have stars on every road in every state. It's like, all right, Gary, Jesus Christ. Interesting. You learn something new every day.
My favorite star on the Walk of Fame,
Orion?
the one at the end of Substance.
Oh yeah, nice. Hell yeah.
Have you seen The Substance?
No.
Oh,
It
you
rips.
gotta see it.
What
Doesn't seem like a Greg movie.
a part of me
You don't
says,
think it sounds like a Greg movie?
is it yucky?
It is the definition of yucky.
Yeah, do you not like gross out stuff?
Not really.
Oh,
He's not a horror boy.
Really?
I like suspense and like mild horror.
Did I not know that about you? That you don't like it? Do you like The Thing or anything?
The Thing's good. I can do The Thing.
If you like The Thing, I think you could handle
Like
Substance.
Hills Have Eyes. Can't do that.
I mean, The Substance is done in a way that's like easy to sit back and laugh at.
Spit on Your Grave. Can't do that.
It's not.
Well, sure. Nobody wants to watch a rape and revenge movie.
It's not like
the back half of Deliverance.
It's
can't
not
do
like
that.
Tusk, where like someone is being like tortured and forced into.
But
a
see,
body
I made it
change.
through Tusk, which was weird.
yeah, Tusk is funny. That's a comedy.
Oh yeah, it really ends on a chuckle.
In any case, we're going to be doing more of this because movies are coming out and TV shows are coming out.
And they've wormed their ways into comic books.
That's the key to success. That's the right route
Yeah.
nowadays.
Yeah.
Comic book first, great show or movie second.
Do you think there's someone out there who thinks that the Walking Dead comic book came after the Walking Dead TV show.
There's gotta be.
No, for sure.
Because
Someone's Meemaw is just like, oh, they made a book out of that TV show.
Because they released Walking Dead Deluxe after.
Which is where they colored in The Walking Dead.
They took the colored pencil.
They colored it in.
I do want to say, right at the middle of the top of the show, I cut my hair.
Yes, if you're watching the video, Andy cut his hair, didn't tell any of us,
Yeah, well,
showed up, cut his hair off, and I do want to highlight, he did donate his hair to Locks of Love, which is an amazing thing. So that's pretty rad, dude.
well, I mean, it was just going to go in the trash. So I felt it shouldn't go in the trash, and it should go to a child that needs a wig because they're going through cancer treatments.
But some people don't do that. It's just like, I do need to call out the fact that you did think of that as an alternative. So it's a nice thing to do. Humble Andy Vargas over here will not take the compliment.
No, it's because it seems like the easiest thing in the entire world.
Sound off, chat. Tell him how good he did. Now grow your hair back. You look like a nerd.
Hey, it only took like 3 years to get there, so I might just do it every 3 years.
All
I
right.
didn't mind, when I had my hair long, I had it growing for like 1.5 years.
Yeah, sure.
And I wanted to rip it out.
Yeah.
At about the 1.5 year mark.
My son was doing that, which is why I cut it.
Yeah. Yeah. Ladies, I don't know how you do it.
Headbanging is going to be weird for you
Oh,
next time you're at a metal show.
the first time I got out of the shower, I instinctively went,
Yeah. Yeah.
and just nothing happened.
Well, that shower probably was 30 minutes less
Yes,
in time.
it was great.
Do you feel lighter?
Oh my God, I feel cooler temperature-wise. I feel cooler, cool factor-wise. I feel lighter. I feel happier. Feel healthier.
Wow, he's like going to therapy.
Brand new man.
All he needs is a haircut.
Oh, also, I went to therapy, and
Yeah, and they told me to cut my hair.
they told me to go back.
Well, such great life changes deserve a celebration, and celebrate we will with a cheers of the greatest beer in the galaxy.
Hip hip! Hooray!
Boulevard Brewing Company's Space Camper Cosmic IPA, a wonderfully hoppy aroma and an amazing finish that makes for the best drinking experience you could have as long as you're over the age of 21.
Space Camper IPA. It's not a beer. It's a journey.
Journey. Let's talk about these things that we're all so excited about. These moving pictures
Oh, yes.
that are being made out of still pictures that we were big fans of.
We have been talking about, I feel like for years, about how Jeremy Hahn's The Beauty should be either a TV show or a movie.
Ripe for a
and
TV show.
lo and behold, today Jeremy Hahn announced that it is becoming a TV show
Hooray!
on FX.
Yep.
Headlined by Bella Hadid, the most
With-
beautifulest girl in the world.
With production, images from production. So, like, it's not just, hey, we're talking about making this. It's
Yeah.
No,
fucking
it's like,
happening.
yeah,
It's going.
we saw pictures of people on set,
Yeah.
acting, going to the craft food table.
They are actors.
Yeah.
I think
Beauty!
I think when I thought about this comic as a show, I was like, the narrative structure is great. The hook is really interesting. It kind of plays like a crime procedural, which is something that people are like very comfortable with narratively. That would just like makes for good like
Thank you, Dick Wolf.
serialized TV. What did not occur to me until today, seeing the stills, is the beauty crux of it is going to make for an amazing pop culture moment.
Just like hot people everywhere.
That it's just like a great show, but part of it is that it's just filled with hot people.
Everyone Hollywood exec is just like, oh my, we're back. We're back, baby.
What's going to be really interesting, because I haven't read this in fucking 12 years or whatever, but isn't like the hot lady detective paired with like a schlubby guy who doesn't want to get the disease?
Yeah.
Isn't there like one guy who's like anti
Well,
the disease?
Well, this is where I get to announce that I'm co-starring with
Greg's
Bella
the ugly
Hadid
guy.
as the schlub detective. They saved a bunch of money on VX because I am hideous to look at. So watch out, folks. Autographs are $10.
I think it starts with one of the detectives if memory serves, it's been a while since I've read the first issue,
Yeah.
but I think it starts with one of the team getting it on purpose, like is seeking it out and like wants to do it.
And
then
that rings a bell.
the other one wakes up the next morning and is like, oh damn, I caught it unintentionally.
So, to my point, they're gonna have to be like, okay, Greg, you play the before of the guy. They're gonna have to cast somebody, some poor Tony Shalhoub or whoever.
Tony Shalhoub's hot as fuck.
I do think there's maybe going to be a reaction to the show that is like, because you're going to have those moments of before and after that people are going to take as like potentially body shaming or like, oh, this person's more beautiful than that person or whatever it is. But
you're missing the context.
You're
show.
completely missing the context of the show. You have to like hang around for it, and I just think it's so. Just the idea of an STD or a disease that has like positive benefits and how that changes society, and like the thought around catching something incurable is on purpose. Like just that idea is enough for a show, and the show is so much, or the comic is so much more than just that idea. But I do think like people are going to be like, oh my god, the actors and actresses in this are just like, I just think it'll
too
be
hot to handle.
Yeah, I just think it'll be a really fun pop culture moment.
Yeah, imagine the like the Vanity Fair spread of that cast.
Yeah, right.
It's gonna be like.
Yeah,
woo!
you have to be like sold in a poly bag. Do you think the success of the movie Substance may have led to this like getting more interest from Hollyweird?
Yeah, I can see that.
Same.
You know, someone obsessed with looks and beauty and what is beauty and that discussion right there. Okay.
Totally.
Glad to hear I'm right. In other...
But props to Jeremy Hahn, who's a Missouri family.
Yeah.
And
Missouri.
And so is Jason Hurley.
Yes.
They're both local boys.
Yes. Yeah. So congrats to both of them. We've interacted with them plenty of times at local cons, and I think Jeremy was even a guest on the show like forever ago.
Yeah.
So
we didn't forget the restraining order. 100 feet. 100 feet.
We can still talk about you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Come on, bud.
We've never stopped.
So congrats to them. We're super excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always fun to see like a local guy get some notoriety.
Every time I meet Colin Bunn, I forget to be like, hey man, Empty Man the movie ripped.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and we've got a Cullen Bunn comic to talk about later today.
Yeah.
I've got some takes on, so I'm excited to talk about that.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's breeze through this news because we got some pretty good comic books I want to talk about.
Okay.
But we have to talk about Predator.
Yes, Andy's been shopping a bit to talk about Predator. Is this a origin story?
I mean,
of like the Predator we get in like Predator Prime?
Oh, I don't know about that.
People are speculating that that's who we see. The young Predator in the movie.
Sure. Maybe. I don't know.
Okay. But you're just happy to see Predator Planet.
I'm stoked to see a Predator protagonist. Mm-hmm. I'm stoked to see Predator on Predator action in a way that's not the dumb
pornographic
version.
Yeah. I've seen some pretty hot Predator on Predator action. I'm thankful I have a VSPN. Or a VPN. What the fuck is the thing called?
A VPN.
A VPN.
I'm interested to see what, if anything, is taken or the parallels between the Benjamin Percy comic from last year, because
I texted you because it immediately felt like that comic book of champions collected from other planets to match wits with predators.
Yeah. And, there's one girl who's like, her quest is to kill all the predators.
Right. Which we've all been there. Who among us.
Right. No, this movie looks great. It's by Dan Trachtenberg, the guy who directed Prey. Mm-hmm. And Prey is, I'll say it, it's the best Predator movie.
That doesn't have Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No. It's better than the original.
Okay. Well,
can I ask you, so
That's like saying like the Bible's better than the King James Bible. You know, splitting hairs.
Well,
You guys mentioned Predator Planet, like the home world of the predators.
Well, I think this is just a planet where they fight.
This is like a hunting ground.
Yeah, it's not like you go to like New Predator City or whatever, and they're
Okay.
like going to like pizzerias.
All right, this is like an Endor type planet that's like,
Yeah.
let's use this forest planet to
Although
hunt.
I would love to see Predator Planet
Well,
where they're
that's
like
what I was
doing
gonna
mundane
ask.
shit.
Do they like live in lofts and like?
They're watching the Predator version of Friends.
'Cause I
and,
only-
like, trying to- perfect.
I only picture them like living in like a feral wilderness type area, but they have spaceship technology. You know what I mean? So like, what are their living quarters normally like? Like,
so we have.
I think it'd be
I
too
defer
weird to show.
I defer you to Star Trek and like the who's the guy with the weird not the Romulans, but like
Klingons?
the Vulcans.
Vulcans. That's a spot.
Klingons.
Klingons.
Sorry, the Klingons. They are a warrior race.
Yeah.
But they don't have like
Well,
television sets. You know what I mean? Like they have
they have a
space
home
tech-
planet.
they have-
Klingon is a home.
Yes, they have a home planet. They have like highly sought after technology, but they're not like worried about sneakers or like they didn't like evolve into a way of just like how humans have evolved of just like I want to scroll on TikTok for 3 hours.
Yeah, they have high level technology.
Yeah,
but
based on violence.
Yeah,
but
for,
they
for
live.
the purpose of.
They kind of like live in like. I want to say I remember maybe seeing some of this. They have like kind of an almost Aztec looking homeworld.
Yeah, there's a lot of terracotta. You know, like because they're not concerned with like having doors or like having heated towels when they get out of their shower. Like their main focus and drive.
What other luxuries can Greg list? Doors. Number one with a bullet.
How is it not?
Hey, you can't be indoors without a door, Mike.
Doors, toilets, and my Xbox 360.
If my memory serves, the Yautja are a nomadic people. So
Holy shit.
There
we go.
Folks, step back. He just dead named the Predator race. We'll be here a minute.
excuse me, predator is derogatory.
You thought Tremors was bad. Continue.
Baby, you want to talk about tremors?
No,
Continue.
we don't.
Continue. Okay, so that's
So-
the alien race name.
Yeah, they're the Yautja. So truly, I think they live on like giant spaceships that launch smaller spaceships out. And I mean, they have a home world, but I think they're like mostly
Nomadic people.
Yeah, nomadic roaming
But
the
see,
galaxy.
like that's the fascinating part for me. Like, yes, I know you're in a big ship hunting things down and send out smaller ships. How the fuck did you get to that point? Like, give me. I want that comic book where you're just like the evolution of that race, just being like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, let's.
We've killed everything on our planet.
Well,
time to go to the
kind
other
of.
ones.
Yeah, it's just like, how are you that intelligent where you're able to make spacecrafts?
Sure.
Benjamin Percy, call us. Explain some of this shit.
Yeah, so the trailer looked great.
It did look
Or
like a lot of fun.
how about this?
Hell yeah, spin it, baby.
A super intelligent race
Came
comes to Predator Planet to take it over, but it turns out you
Yes.
landed on the planet of the most
Yes.
deadly people in the galaxy. They wipe you out and take all your technology.
So they're trying to reverse engineer
and then
how to do like a stick shift in this
and they're-
spacecraft.
Yeah, and they're saying no one will come here.
Shift it. Shift it.
No one will come here ever again. So we're going everywhere else to eradicate everybody.
Just driving through space with the
just
left
like, there's
blinker on.
another one. Yeah, let's get that one.
Put it in
Yeah.
neutral.
Are we out of gas?
Yeah,
What's the check engine light mean?
I would watch that movie.
I'll be back in 2 clicks.
Oh! Going out for milk and cigarettes. And then there's also an animated
Oh, baby.
Predator movie coming out.
Is there ever?
Speak on this. You have 2 minutes.
So it's Predator Killer of Killers. I think that's the name. Also by Dan Trachtenberg, the guy who did Prey. But it is either an anthology or, like an interspersed story.
Yeah.
But it's different eras of humanity fighting predators
Right.
in Viking times, in ninja samurai times, and in World War II.
Okay, here's what I'm learning now. Predators can't beat humans.
Well, that's the point of the movies, is that you have to use our brains
Right.
to kill the
It's our
predators.
humanity that saves us.
Yeah.
And the fact that we have Sabaros, the only planet in the universe that has Sabaros.
For now. We don't know Sabaro's plans for expansion. Anyway, yeah, I'm fucking stoked for that, because having...
I can't get Samarzos out of my head. I'm just like at the first mention of the idea, that just like immediately popped in my head as like a sign on Mars
Welcome to Samarzos. It's a mall food court for the
Yeah.
entire
of
planet.
just every mall store is
Yeah.
a Sabaros.
Orange Julius,
A Sabaros.
Panda Express,
It's Sabaros. Anne's Pretzels.
It's
Auntie Anne's Pretzels.
Sabaros, Foot Locker, Sabaros.
Samarzos.
Yeah. So if you're a Predator fan, you're eating good,
You're
fam.
Eating super good. Yeah.
All right.
Jazzed about it.
All right, that's it. Let's get into comic books.
Speaking of Predator,
Yeah, let's do this first.
Yeah, let's go right into this.
you read it, right?
I did read it. Predator
read it.
versus Spider-Man, courtesy of
20th Century Fox.
and Marvel Comics
And Benjamin Percy.
and who? Ricardo. Hold on, I gotta get the page, folks.
I'm working on it. You just talk about
Good
it.
lord, it's like right in the back there, isn't it? Here, I have it pulled up. Yeah, so this is
Gotta love a title page that is like the second to last page of a comic.
kind of annoying.
Marcelo
kind of rules.
Marcelo Ferreira,
Yes.
if I'm saying that correctly, and then Jay Leisten, Jay Leisten did the inks, and Frank DeMarta did the colors.
Okay. Here's what you gotta know, and it's the easiest thing. There's a predator in New York, killing people, killing drug people,
Killing never.
as we call them.
Still a jungle. It's just a concrete one.
Yeah, where dreams are made of. Alicia Keys, I can safely say, survives this comic book. Spider-Man is investigating. Mary Jane and her friend are caught in a subway. At the very end, Kraven shows up to help
Yeah.
hunt.
That rules.
Yeah, you're fucked, Predator.
As a Predator boy,
You're a Predator, man. Come on now.
know-
With that haircut.
Sure. I loved the parallels between this book and Predator 2, the movie, which also takes place in New York, if you guys didn't know. So, like,
Did not know that.
the entire, like, whole thing where the detective is, like, investigating the murder of these drug guys is, like, ripped straight out of that movie.
Yeah, what's her deal? She just walk around eating ice.
Yeah, she's just like a hard-boiled detective.
They make like a point of that.
She's seen it all.
Well, she's about to see something completely different. Tonally, this book,
Dark.
kind of weird. Kind of out of the norm for a Marvel comic book.
Well, yeah, because it's Spider-Man, who's, like, normally loosey-goosey and kind of
But I mean, like,
lighthearted.
it's not. This book is graphic, and it's not a red band.
Buddy, let me tell you.
And we talked about this before we turned on the microphones of just like, what's the point of the red band now? There's a scene where a predator rips off someone's face and then holds it up to their mutant face like they're gonna wear it as like a costume.
and then does, and then wears it as
And
a
then
costume
does,
later
yeah,
in the
and then
book.
does.
Yeah.
To me, as like a person who buys comic books and a person with 2 young children, that shit should be in a black trash bag, like behind the counter, like. And like, I'm not prudish, but like that is pretty graphic
It was
for.
a lot.
I loved it.
I loved
it. The imagery is amazing, but it's like I thought we created Red Band for this type of stuff.
In fairness, it says parental advisory right there.
In the smallest font possible, that gleans right into.
Look, bro,
A light
it's
flare.
on there.
In any case, it's a fantastic book. I'm excited to see where it goes. And the introduction of Craven, it just makes this even juicier. And I don't know why that surprised me at the end.
I know. I know. It's such a no-brainer.
It is.
The funny thing is, I would have been more excited for a Predator versus Craven comic because that just like sounds exciting.
Yes.
But I like that they tucked it into a Spider-Man comic because that gave you an awesome reveal.
Yes.
Well, I think this book is going to be like Spider-Man versus Predator versus Craven.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it's going to be because I think Spider-Man's going to be stopping Craven because he's going to be on a crime spree trying to get to the Predator who is on a murder
They're not going to
spree.
be teaming up.
I have a different take. I think they might be
Think they're gonna
teaming up.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Unlikely foes becoming friends
He
for a
found-
common goal.
He found prey even deadlier than Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'm thinking the Craven is like torqued up to get this thing. He's like,
he
oh,
definitely
get me
is.
to this thing. I want to put its head on my wall. And this is canon.
Yeah.
These have all been clearly stated. This is a canon for 616 Marvel,
So sick.
which is so juicy.
I can't tell you how much I love when stuff's canon.
When stuff falls into a proper timeline,
Oh,
I can go to bed.
That's amore.
I can go to bed sleeping like a baby. That's in canon. A canon baby.
You're telling me Uncle Ben's dead in this universe?
You're telling me
That-
Aunt May has mourned Uncle Ben canonically, in
And chronologically correct? Sign me up.
all I'm saying is
the twist at the end, the Predator, Uncle Ben.
Aunt May versus Planet of the Apes when, you know?
She would get that place working like a...
Yeah, I mean, like all the other Benjamin Percy Predator books, this one fucking ripped. It was so good.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. I really, really liked it.
You want to talk about the other one we overlapped on?
Arcana Royale. I think we all three read this.
I read it.
Hell yeah. Have we ever all read a book before?
Not the same book. It's been a while, actually.
Yeah, it has been a while.
So this is a Colin Bunn book with A.C. Zamudio doing the art, Bill Crabtree doing the colors. I loved it. It felt like Ocean's 11 style, like
Demonic Ocean's 11.
a snappy, like not a crime.
Well, it's
book,
not a
but-
heist thing.
Yeah, it's like like Rounders.
But it is a man on the inside thing.
Yeah. So it's a woman who gets recruited by a team to
Infiltrate.
win. Yeah, infiltrate and win this high stakes card game.
Occultist card game.
But
Yeah.
the card game is played by demons and ghouls and gods and demigods.
And what you're
she's,
gambling
she's like a
is-
poker savant.
Yes.
Which is like why they found her.
Yeah. And what you're gambling really is people's lives and things that happen within
Yeah,
them.
it's like people's fates.
Yes. Yeah.
So they show like somebody bets like a chip, and then they flash to a scene of like a baby being born, and then somebody also throws in another bet, and then the baby like turns into a monster or something.
Yeah. Loosely, like,
Yeah.
someone in the hospital either lives or dies.
Yeah, you're right.
You either have good sex or bad sex. Like, just, it's a flip of the coin kind of thing that these people are gambling on.
Well, they're like they'll like wager 2 years,
Yeah.
which is like, I think you're taking 2 years off of someone's life who maybe is like worships you or
Yeah.
Yeah.
like has some sort of connection to like whatever like the soul coin is that you're using
Yeah.
as casino chips.
Well, yeah, and it was kind of like nebulous like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think with this kind of occultist stuff, it's hard to really connect with it. But when Cullen tied it into kind of like what you said, Vargas, of like a Rounders or like a card counting movie or like some kind of like high stakes Vegas thriller.
You know what it felt like was like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, where it's like
Lock,
it's like
Stock,
a
and Two
crime
Smoking
thing.
Satans.
Yeah, it's like a crime thing, but there's like a card game at the center of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Casino Royale.
Casino Royale. That's that's the James Bond guy. I totally missed that. Yeah.
It was very, very fun. You can tell by the cast of characters at each different poker game, the entities that are there and their personalities that Cullen is going to have a great time just writing different scenarios wherein they have to interact, and I'm sure we'll learn more about these characters as this series goes on. It is a 1 of 4, so it is a pretty quick read. You know, we always joke about Cullen Bunn writing 55 books every year, but has he written a bad one yet? No. I mean, he's just like on an absolute hit streak.
Yeah, he's
since
so
like
good.
2002.
The first thing I thought of was Cullen Bunn's going to make a game out of this.
Totally.
Yes.
This card game is going to be real.
Yeah.
And I'm going to buy it.
He's teaching us how to play Arcane Royale.
This is his 3D,
Arcana Royale.
This is his 3D chess of it all. Is
Yeah.
Now he's got his primary moneymaker is going to be games, and he's just using the comics as a gateway into.
It's just promo
Yeah.
material.
It's just promo material for a game he's going to make.
Well, it's working.
Yeah.
If you don't know, he wrote a comic called Harrow County that's fantastic, and it has a board game
Yeah.
that is very,
RPG, right?
that's very cool. And is Six Gun? Does it have a companion game?
Six Gun has a tabletop game, an RPG game.
Yeah.
And he's writing his own RPG games as well.
Yeah.
So he's well versed.
So it's just fun to let's say this doesn't even become a card game or anything he sells. He's such a master of like game mechanics thinking
Yeah.
that like it should be fun no matter what.
Yeah.
'Cause you can tell based on just like the nomenclature of the game that he's created just tons of rules for whatever this thing is. in
I'm
his
almost
head.
thinking
Well,
he created the game first. He was just like, fuck, I could write a comic book about this.
Well, the fact that there's like a scene in the, because they do it like those, Ocean's movies, whatever, where they kind of flip back and forth between present and past. And there's like a scene where she's learning the game, and they've got all the cards like around the table and stuff, like their own makeshift deck.
Yeah.
No question in my mind that issue 2 is going to have a breakdown of how this game is played, at least at a high level.
Oh, and I think we're gonna get an idea for like, because we don't know what the people who hired her to infiltrate this game like want out of it.
Yeah,
because she's basically, as far as we can tell, she's keeping the money.
Right.
She's keeping like the chips. But are we gonna find out that the chips are like souls and worshipers, and that's making her like a deity over time? And these people want godlike power or something, so they're commissioning her to like gain a lot of like soul authority or something.
Yeah.
Like it could be, we don't know that it's anything like that, but I feel like there's a turn here where we're going to find out the stakes of the game are a lot higher than money and like these like repercussions in people's lives.
Yeah, because she said something about, oh, I get an invite to the next round of the tournament.
Yeah.
So like this is like a poker all-stars thing where
Yes.
like you have to win rounds to move up.
Right.
And ultimately, is there a big pot of souls, or like, do you get like a wish from God at the end or something? Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean, at the end, she does get like stomped out by players
who are like, we know you're not like,
Yeah.
you're in the game and you're good at playing the game, but we don't give a shit about the money. We give a shit about the fact that you don't belong here.
Yeah.
And
You're taking something away from us that we do need.
Yeah, right.
So I think these are other demons that are vying for something, and she is fucking up their game.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited, especially like 4 issues.
this
The
is a
easiest
no-brainer.
buy-in ever.
Yeah, right.
Very cool.
The cover for the first issue is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, if you didn't buy it based on that cover alone, like,
You suck, bud.
You know how many variants this comic had?
0?
0. How refreshing is that?
Oh,
Bravo.
well done.
Bravo. You had
Well
one,
done.
You had one great cover and
That's all you need.
yep, that's all you need.
trash. If I can't buy a 1 in 1,000, it's not even worth my time.
The 1 in 1,000 is a card.
Yeah.
Real quick, I read G.I. Joe Silent Night Roadblock by Andrew Crane.
Sure.
It was fun. It was another great entry into the Silent Missions series that we've covered last week and the week before,
Yeah.
and I'm sure we're going to cover next week.
Can I ask you a question about this specifically? So,
Yes.
when Mike D did the ninja one, made total sense. Ninja, silent mission, no brainer. I did Spirit last week, and that was like a little bit of a stretch for a silent comic book because it was like, I get it, he's alone in the woods with his like eagle companion, but then he has to like fight a giant robot bear, and he still wasn't like saying anything. This book I didn't read, but I saw the cover, and he's like the demolitions guy or something, right?
Yeah, he's Brock Sampson.
Yeah. Did the silent part of it work?
Does it play into the story?
Yeah.
Because
No.
Okay.
This is a comic book with the words removed.
in Jinx, like you said, Jinx is a ninja.
Yeah.
And so
total sense.
by essence, you're supposed to be silent and quiet and move in and out and
This is the loudest silent mission I have ever read.
Which is maybe like, did they at least like play to that? Like that was like a fun goof on it.
Kind of.
That it was like loudly
No
silent.
one, no one was like speaking to one another, but like
Sure.
there was a lot of like open mouth screaming where I'm just like, there's probably a word bubble there. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
at the end, they like do a thing where they're like trying to make cocoa, but like he pulls out like a book that has like the instructions on there, just like how to make cocoa, and it's like, oh my god, like a great comic book that I love. I'm just like, you could have put fucking words in here.
I almost wondered if like one of these was gonna open with like a bomb going off or something, and everybody being like,
yeah, which would be awesome.
Saving
But
Private Ryan.
yeah, right.
Ringing moment.
And then the
Yes.
whole book is like them not being able to
Yeah.
because of the thing.
the Akira
That's not this.
explosion.
Yeah. You're an explosion. Yeah.
Everything's quiet.
Neo
Yes.
G.I. Joe is about to explode.
That boom. Akira was the first time I
saw that.
I saw that where it was like the big loud thing was so loud that it's silent, and I'm like, that blew my mind as a teenager. I was like, that's fucking incredible.
I
They're
saw
making you bathe in the moment.
yeah, Akira on VHS as like a 13-year-old. I was
Yeah.
like, this is fucking cinema.
Yeah.
And it shaped me for the last
You know
4
what?
years.
I was such a nerd for like anime stuff, and I got rid of all the old DVDs and box sets.
You
and,
fool.
Like I had CDs of like soundtracks that I like imported from Japan with like my lawn mowing money, and all that stuff is worth like $100 each now.
Yeah.
And I probably sold it to half price books when I was in my like early 20s for jack shit.
Yeah.
And I just could not have anticipated like
You needed gas money.
the colossal rise of anime in
Yeah.
America over the past like 15 years.
Man, if I had a time machine.
I didn't watch Akira till college, so I didn't have
But
that.
did it have the same effect?
Yeah, obviously.
I feel like everyone's first time watching Akira is the same, no matter which age
Yeah,
you
Akira
watch it at.
fucking rules.
You're just like, holy shit! Like, there's a reason this movie is so impactful and influential.
Yeah. If I had Elon Musk money, I would buy that red leather jacket with the pill that says "good for health, bad for education" or whatever.
I mean, you could probably buy that with Andy Vargas money.
Definitely not. Not the one I want. You know what I
okay.
mean?
Real leather.
Yeah,
The one made from glass.
That's the one I want. Yeah, yeah.
What else did I read Gatchaman Ryu Scavengers by Steve Orlando and Ricardo Robaldo. This is a continuation of the Mad Cave Gatchaman series that I think Cullen Bunn had his
Yes.
hands in for a little bit.
Oh, is
You
that
wrote
right?
the main line.
Yeah. This book and the franchise is a lot of fun. Okay? I'm going to say that up front. It's a lot of fun. It is a great alternative to like your Power Rangers or your Voltron. Like, it's a team series. And what these books are doing is it has like the mainline book, and then it like gives little offshoot one shots to go into who the other team members are. It's a lot of fun. Where this book stumbles a little bit is Steve Orlando adds too much prose when he shouldn't.
Too much gotcha. To the mom.
He adds too much wordage. It's like I felt myself editing the comic book while I was reading it. I'm just like, we didn't need this word bubble. Why is he still talking when like it's just it should be a very straightforward one shot of a Gatchaman Ryu series of him fighting water pirates. But it got bogged down by too much words.
You know, this happens sometimes with like IP like this. And I always find myself wondering, like, do the dudes who buy this book, because let's be honest, it's dudes, like, are they the people who like want that lore? That's why they buy the book. Like,
Okay.
I feel like it's like the Masters of the Universe people.
Yes.
You know, the He-Man people
Yes.
are like, give me the lore.
What I was given was not additional lore.
Oh,
it was
okay.
additional exposition. Like it was so much dialogue that didn't mean fuck all.
Yeah.
And it just muddied up the page because the art in this was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And the crux of the story was he finds like a mech sea god and battles it. But it was bogged down with words. And it's like, God damn it. Hack all this shit away and have the best comic book in the world. And I don't, it wasn't like I was getting factoids or, secret details about the suits and like the different birds that they choose. It's just like, it was just dumbass dialogue that could have been snipped away.
Yeah.
It could have been a G.I. Joe silent mission.
Gatchaman silent mission.
Gatchaman hush mission. Gatchaman, shut your mouth. But if you love the Gatchaman series, and I have loved these Mad Cave books immensely, go check it out. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm historically known for saying too many words. Too many words in my comic books.
There are some creators that, let's not say that they're bad creators. They're just, over time you have preferences for certain things. And I think Steve Orlando's one of those writers that people have very specific preferences for or against because he is kind of
he has his style.
Yeah, he has his style. He's very dense. A lot of information being introduced to you, and a lot of like quick lore that is sometimes hard to follow and track. But if you are maybe, let's say, like Andy, you are like a huge Morrison fan,
Yeah.
right? And like I could see some parallels between
Yes.
Totally.
Morrison and Orlando. That there's just like heady, big ideas, kind of take you a sec to like soak it in and follow it and appreciate the nuance in the word that's read page to page. I personally have a tough time reading both of those guys. But Grant Morrison's one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there is some Steve Orlando books that I love because his particular style lends itself to that series that he's in.
Oh, certain things, yeah.
For this particular Gatchaman series, less is more.
You were looking for a fun tie-in
Right.
adventure thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just my 2 cents.
Yeah.
You know what? That's how much it was worth. 2 cents.
Exactly. Cash that in. Kadoosh.
I also read Medieval Spawn. He's right there on the cover. I think this might have been the book you were looking for.
Oh.
Because
Yes.
Medieval Spawn finds a squire who leads him to a bad guy. And he cuts the bad guy's head off.
Yeah.
And then we get a tee up for issue 2.
Perfect.
Bing, bang, boom.
All right.
Oh, and the big reveal, McFarlane Toys is doing Shrek.
Look at that stinker of a face Shrek has.
Get out of my swamp
Big-
and into my toy store.
Eyebrow raised.
Yeah, I mean, this is like Spawn stuff. The nice thing about this is I didn't feel like what was the last Spawn thing I read?
Rat City.
No, it was that
Country Spawn.
no, it was the
Rollerblading Spawn.
the one where the girl was like doing a seance or whatever. I read it like 2 weeks ago. Anyway,
Is it not Rat City?
Girl was doing a seance.
yeah.
This is Nita Hawes' nightmare blog.
Yeah, no.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Oh my god, everybody shut up.
It's a new comic.
Yeah, it was a new comic. Anyway, this didn't
Greg's on it.
I don't know if this was tied to any Spawn lore that already existed. I know Medieval Spawn is like a guy that's out there in the world, but I didn't like read this and was like, oh, I have no idea what they're talking about. which I always appreciate in my Spawn books because I do not know what they're talking about.
It's tough for any comic that's over 300 issues to like cannonball into all the baggage it carries.
Well, but this is the thing.
They're doing a
Don't put a number 1 on the
Yeah.
cover if you're going to be bogged down with 300 issues of nonsense.
Yeah, right.
Which was the problem I had with whatever the...
But not the problem you have with Rat City.
No.
Rat City did it in a way that
Yeah.
was just like, new fans, welcome to the universe of Spawn.
Yeah, and Rat City was tied to Spawn, but it was
Yeah.
like, there was an explosion and we don't know what's going on,
Yeah.
so you don't know what's going
Right,
on.
it's very independent of all the rest of the stuff.
Yeah, and also Erica Schultz is like a great writer, so
Yes,
she
big fan.
does it great. But yeah, this felt separated from Spawn, and
Yep.
it was just like cool, big, like World of Warcraft style action,
Mm-hmm.
which, you know, shove it in my sloppy pig hole all day long.
Holy shit!
Feast for the eyes.
Save that for the OnlyFans.
All right, I got a second print of something on accident
You fool.
because what I messed up was Godzilla versus LA comes out next week.
Yes.
And there was a new Godzilla versus Chicago on stands, but it was
Yeah.
the second
Second
it was the second print,
Because Chicago bought up all the...
which I think we already covered on the podcast. Is that right?
Yeah, I talked about it.
Yeah. But I did enjoy it. I think each of the stories of this anthology were very tongue in cheek and kind of like hokey with the Chicago references.
Yeah.
Which, as a Midwesterner that like frequents Chicago, like so much fun.
Hey, Godzilla's
Yeah.
eating a hot dog over here.
Wait,
Like-
did they defeat Godzilla with Malort?
I wish Malort was acknowledged in this. It wasn't, but I loved the
That's what made Godzilla.
fan. There was like a fan boat kind of guy, a guy who's like,
Yeah, the dove into the stadium or
Yes.
whatever.
Oh,
Yeah.
Black Ritual, the Book of Nyx.
That's the one. Too much Spawn lore in that book. Anyway,
I really enjoyed it. Tim Seeley had a story that was really fun where you go through all the like chains or all the stops on the L.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was a really clever way
That's great.
to incorporate the city. And then, yeah, the Ryan Brown story was just like a mile a minute, just so many hokey, like funny Chicago references. Like they referenced the dude who, you know,
They stepped on the grave
Stole
of
the-
Harry Carey.
who caught the foul ball that
Yeah, that's right.
could have been an out in the not the World Series, but a playoffs to the World Series.
yeah.
And just a handful of other like really funny little things.
Yeah, it was a good book.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Oh, the the fan guy was Fanguli instead of
Oh, Svengoolie?
instead of
Yeah.
Sven Gulli,
Or Svengoolie.
based out of Chicago.
Yeah.
I've never seen that show.
It's like Chicago public television.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Wayne's World.
It's kind of like Mystery Science Theater. Like, I guess what is the show? Do they watch scary movies with them giving commentary?
No, I thought Sven Gulli was like shock jock, like news of the day kind of thing, but a TV show. Am I totally wrong?
I guess we have to watch some because I don't know what the show is.
Okay.
There's no
We have some homework for
you don't have to have your nerd card taken away or anything. It is extremely regional.
Yeah.
It is unnoticed though.
But he's known as a character.
Yeah, he's
You
a
know what I-
personality.
Yeah, he's known as a personality first and foremost.
I've seen clips and he sounds like he's from Chicago.
Yeah.
Like he has the big Chicago.
This is very much like we all know who Elvira is.
Yeah.
But I'm like, can you like how much does the collective conscious understand like how or why Elvira got popular?
Right.
It's like no,
I think we know why.
you do.
I know two
Big
reasons.
reasons.
Now I get what you're saying.
I will say, next week, Godzilla vs. LA come out. 100% of the audience should buy it because they're donating a portion of the proceeds to support the LA wildfires. So
Because they're really hurting right now.
Yeah. Even if you don't,
The wildfires have fallen on hard times. They can't afford avocado toast.
This is a very, very serious topic, Greg.
I know.
I'm trying to get people
Okay.
to buy a comic.
Supporting the victims
Yes.
of the wildfires.
It's
Not
like
supporting
saying
the
AIDS research. We're not trying to, or cancer support.
Yeah.
We're not trying to support
Support for cancer. Which, in these trying times.
Yeah, so everybody go buy Godzilla versus LA next week.
Yeah. It is very important. I was making a joke, but it is important to spend your money to go to good causes.
Just make sure the money doesn't go to support the fire. It supports the victims of the fire.
It has enough money.
The fire has plenty.
The LA fires are the reason that Katy Perry went into space. I'll say that definitively.
She left Earth to flee the fires.
And she came back, unfortunately.
Oh, Lord.
I think we've done it.
Yep, that's another episode of The First Issue Club.
First issue club.
Bye. First Issue Club is edited and produced by Mike DeStacy and Craig Lichtite. Follow us on social media at First Issue Club and check out our Patreon for videos, audio, and more at patreon.com/firstissueclub.